welcome to episode 19 of the Bulldog Bark. I'm yours truly, the Guru. With me today, I got BFC and Michael D. Rosa. So, boys, the regular season is over. The Dawgs finished 18-13, 17-13 in D1, 9-11 the Big East, good for 8th place, which is their best finish since the 2020 season where they finished 5th. Today, we're basically going to break down our thoughts on the regular season as a whole, and then we'll give our preview and our thoughts on the Big East tournament coming up. Usually I punt it to you guys, but I have a few stats that I want to point out before I give it over to you guys. Yeah, I'm prepared today.
Okay.
So just our general outlook on the season. Some obvious things we all know, like the coaches poll picked us like as bad as DePaul. There's basically no expectations coming this year. Butler went from 96th in KenPom to 63rd as of today, so up 33 spots. There was a cool stat today that I saw on Twitter. I tweeted it out where they, of all major programs, they had the 4th largest increase in efficiency. So if you're going to say anything other than this was a huge step forward for this program after the last 3 seasons, I'm going to mute you because it was a huge. I know Michael's mad. He wants that. He wants the NCAA tournament because he hasn't had one, and I'm spoiled. But honestly, what an unbelievable turnaround for Thad and the Dawgs. We might miss the tournament. We're close though, but the numbers and the metrics just show that. Michael, I'll punt it over to you. What are your thoughts on the regular season?
Yeah, I think if we looked at the regular season before the season began, we'd all take this outcome, 100%. If we looked at this come December, it's okay. This would just be about this would be an eh. And if we looked at this come February, it would be oh my God. But I think overall, if you look at and considering preseason expectations, it's definitely a good look. I think the main thing that I'm looking forward to in this offseason is if Butler can keep everyone, this team will be good. But just from preseason expectations, you absolutely take it. You got some energy, which this program desperately needed. So just I think from that perspective, it's definitely a good season.
Yeah, I think just getting back on the radar, not only nationally, but, in Indiana as a whole, in the city, these last couple of games, we've seen a lot of guys from the Pacers coming to games, kind of getting a little bit more energy. I know DJ is friends with Jalen Clark, so he and Mike Conley were in attendance, just kind of getting more of a footprint in the city, the state. The Big East was just vital this year, especially in the NIL kind of world where you need some of that notoriety. You need some of your players, going on podcasts, taking interviews, just kind of having that national relevance and having Butler as a name. When you're recruiting top 100 guys, you need, these AAU connections. You need, these media connections. It was just a massive step forward, and I think it really was kind of a swing year. Because if you have a couple bad seasons in the as NIL is starting out, you're just starting from behind. And when you have an NIL fund like Butler has, you just can't really afford that. So it's just a massive get right year. And yeah, obviously, like Michael said, the goalposts were moving because we were just playing well. And I think, talent wise, we're an NCAA tournament team. We've looked like an NCAA tournament team, 80% of the year. And we just hit a skid at the wrong time, which, obviously happens, but we still got a chance, kind of control your own destiny like everybody else in college basketball. Obviously got to get through Xavier, and then, you got to beat Goliath, but, defending national champs and national champion favorites. If you get through UConn, it's a tough resume to look over just with the quality of win that we would have at that point. But yeah, definitely really happy. Obviously, this last month could have gone a lot better. But yeah, if you told me in October where we were sitting right now, I'd be pretty stoked.
No, I was saying I like what you guys are saying. It's not just on the court where I thought they reinvigorated they actually won games and reinvigorated the kind of apathy that was setting in, or they stopped the apathy that's setting in. But another thing was the off the court stuff you got to talk about. I'm so excited for this TBT thing this summer. It's gonna be a blast. You can see the Grant Leyendecker already making moves, which is huge for this program, getting the name out there. I think it's gonna pay dividends. Obviously, Grady Collier did amazing things for this university. This is nothing to him, but the transition into this new NIL era, I think that this could not have come at a better time. So A lot of exciting things, and obviously with the 2025 recruiting class, like you said, Stink Robinson was at that game too, which was cool. And like seeing all these kind of top tier guys. I mean, whether or not we land them, we could pull Patrick Ewing, but still, at least we're getting him in the building, which is good. So, no, I think overall, if you say anything, right, like Michael said, our expectations changed throughout the season. So, yeah, once we started playing well, yeah, we thought we had a chance to enter the tournament. I'll take any postseason ball. NIT would still be fun. Championships in Hinkle, that'd be a blast. Obviously, I prefer the tournament, but Indiana State will probably get it instead. I'm just gonna keep saying it. But so maybe looking forward here. So let's talk about the path to maybe an NCAA tournament. So Butler is the 8th seed. They will face Xavier for the second time in a row, who is the 9th seed. The winner of that game gets the luxury, as BSC brought up, of facing arguably the best team in college basketball, the UConn Huskies, as the 1 seed. And then the winner of that will play the winner of the 4-5 matchup of Seton Hall and St. John's. Obviously, on the other side of the bracket, you got all the other guys, 2 and 3 being Creighton and Marquette. So looking at, and just so everyone knows, Xavier would be a Q2, and then obviously UConn would be a Q1A. For those of you that don't quite understand, just imagine Q1A is like the best of the best. So Butler's got 3 of those already. They got at Marquette, at Creighton, and against Boise State on neutral court. And as BFC said, if you have 4 of those, that's a lot of them. That's a lot of big wins. And I saw that stat that Lucas posted today, which was that no team has ever missed the tournament with 3 Q1A wins or more and no Q3 or 4 losses. And was it TCU? I think was the other one. Or
that's right.
Yeah. Are both in that position right now. So, Michael, I'll punt it over to you first. What do you see happening in the Big East tournament? What are your expectations? What do the Dogs need to do?
I think they can beat Xavier again. I was really impressed defensively with how they played that game. I think it's the best defensive performance we've seen since that Boise State game in my mind. In terms of, I don't expect them to beat UConn. I'm realistic on that. Actually, there was a stat I saw a while back that always stuck out to me, was that Butler was able to get good shots against UConn, which is good. UConn also got really good shots on the other end, and UConn's just really good. So I don't expect them to beat UConn. I hope they can beat Xavier. Yeah, that's really all I got. And if they want to make the tournament, I think they need to win 4-4, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
They have to win the thing.
Yeah, I just, based on how, sometimes how the committee just doesn't look at conference tournaments. They just are like, sometimes they really look at them. Other times they're just like, yeah, that's happening like the other day. We've already got our seed list done. It's like, oh, okay, sure.
So what I've heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, is that
Sure.
most games before Friday are still considered, and then once Friday hits in the weekend, they kind of stop thinking about it. So
Yeah,
that's what I was
that feels
kind of
right.
hoping, if those are Wednesday and Thursday, we might still
Yeah.
be able to get those in. Because if Butler does, let's just say Butler does pull off the absolute miracle and beat UConn, again, they'll have. So another thing that to monitor, not I never know if a Q2B and a Q2A, like how much of a difference that makes. But Villanova's at 33 in that, and Texas Tech is at 30. So Texas Tech is a Q1 right now. Villanova is barely not. If both of those could slide up, and then let's say we magically beat UConn, I mean, you're talking about 4 Q1As and sitting at 6 and 11 with 4 Q1As. I mean, that's pretty good. Like that really is. And so I don't know. I feel like if you beat UConn, and then would St. John's also be a Q1 since they're considered home?
I assume so, yeah, because they're top 75.
Even if it was neutral,
Yeah.
it'd still be a
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, I don't know. I've seen that too, where people said they're so far out that they just don't see them getting back in. But how can you sit there and say, okay, let's say they finished 19 and 14 with just what I said right there, 6 Q1 wins, 4 Q1As. That's better than a lot of resumes. I don't care about the number of losses. That's impressive, but I don't know. BFC, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think, UConn embarrassed a lot of teams this year, and Butler's wasn't one of them. Obviously, I think that they're far and away the best team in the country, but going into that game, I think that there is a little bit of confidence from the team of like, okay, I mean, they beat Marquette by 30, they beat Xavier by 100 or whatever. I think that they've proven that they can at least hold their own on the court. Honestly, we had them beat for what 30 minutes at Hinkle. Couldn't close. It's a team that you just can't make mistakes against. But yeah, if we get past Xavier, which we really need to, because we're just a better team than Xavier. I mean, we dominated them that entire game. The last time we played, when we were in Cintas, we were up like 20-5 and just completely blew it. But I just think
we took the lead back in the second half too, which I keep forgetting because they went on another like 15-0 run after that or something.
Yeah, they went on like 3 kill shot runs there, 10 plus. And yeah, we just didn't have it. And DJ and Telfort were in a slump in that kind of series of games. But yeah, I think once you get past Xavier, obviously let's just say we get past Xavier, UConn's a game where we have everything in the world to play for. And UConn, as great as a Big East title sounds, that game will just mean more to Butler than to UConn. And obviously kind of looking for the silver linings here. It's not like they're going to take their foot off the gas. They've got a 1 seed, tied up, everything like that. Butler's going to be, playing for the majority of the guys in the team, their first chance to play in the big dance, most of which are upperclassmen. And, I just think that there's going to be a chance. I'm not saying it's a big chance, but I'm not going to that game saying, all right, well, season's kind of over, good run. Let's go to the NIT. We have to play UConn. Because I think they've proven that they can at least hold their own on either court, and you never know.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Arch Madness, as Michael. We love some Arch Madness. I do too. Yeah, no, no, Michael probably knows more than I do, but I don't know. Winning all 4 just seems like, God, if we won all 4, we'd be, 21-13, and God, that'd be insane. But I don't know. I just feel like we could win 2 to 3 of them and at least be in the conversation. Who knows?
I don't want to get my hopes up and be let down again. So I'll just stay calm. And if it happens, I'll be very excited. And when it doesn't, I'll just be like, yeah, I saw this coming since mid-February.
Hey, every party needs a pooper. That's you, my friend. No, I mean, yeah, it's an incredible, as Michael alluded to, it's an incredibly difficult task. And I like what BFC said, they've held their own on UConn, but UConn is UConn. They are so damn good. So, no, it should be a fun tournament. This is probably the most excited I've been. I'd say it's almost refreshing to not be staring at I know Michael has been, but staring at the portal. Like last year, we were all just staring at the portal, like what guys are coming out, like how can we like mix this up? And I feel like this year we're hoping that everyone sticks around and maybe grab a piece or two while hoping we still make a little run here. So I think it's back to that first stuff we talked about. It's just refreshing, like to still be engaged. I feel like not just in the portal at this point. So, yeah, no, exciting stuff. Anything else you guys want to add for this one?
It'd be fun if they won the whole thing.
It would be fun.
Put that out there.
No, I like that's a good idea. I like that idea, Michael. Yeah, I think that'd be really
creative.
fun.
What can I say?
I mean, it'd be nice to have that hardware, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, just maybe.
Marquette and UConn just complaining about it, and then we come up and are arguing each other out of nowhere and just take it. That'd be awesome. Yeah, no. So just so everyone knows, Butler plays 4 p.m. right on Wednesday.
Yeah.
4 p.m. Wednesday. I think they're the opening game.
They are.
Yeah, opening game, because why wouldn't Butler be? They always are. Opening game is actually the 3rd time, I think, in the last 4 years that Butler and Xavier have played in the Big East tournament, something like that. Yeah. So pretty standard matchup. But 4 p.m. Wednesday, Butler takes on number 9 seed Xavier. Make sure you tune in. And as always, go Dogs.